Kitale, are you ready? Money Mastery for Her, in conjunction with Hope and Destiny Foundation Kenya, presents Kenya Mission 2023 on 15th September to 24th September 2023. Ministering will be Pastor Robert Johnson, Pastor Lexi Johnson, founder MM4H, Elder Joan, Pastor Randall. Hosted by Bishop Benjamin Some, Regional Bishop Pefa Cherangani Tale. Other missionaries will also minister on money matters, publishing and experiencing lifestyle as Christians. During the mission, we will have a campaign for sanitary towels in our local schools and stationery donations. On our community outreach, we shall give footwear. You will be prayed for. Healing and salvation is your portion. Come expecting a life-changing experience from God.
Yo! Good evening, wherever you are in the world. We are super excited because, man, we have 13 days, Elder Joan, 13 days. Can you believe it?
Actually, it is like 12. We leave on the 12th.
For you and I.
Yes. Me and you. Yes. Ooh, boy.
12 days. So Good afternoon, everyone. I am Lexi Johnson. My day-to-day life, I'm an international speaker, licensed financial coach and strategist, helping women entrepreneurs to master their money, create wealth so that they can fulfill their kingdom mission. And in this capacity, I am the leader of Money Mastery for Her Missions. This year, we're going to Kenya. We're going to be ministering in Nairobi and Kitale. And we will not be physically in Mombasa, but we are providing some support to Mombasa as well. So I'm super excited. Elder Joan, tell the people who you are.
Yeah, so I'm Joan T. Randall, the founder of Victorious Youth Press, an independent publishing company. And we help take the guesswork out of the writing process, the fear out of publishing, and just encourage people to use the pen to deliver their message to the marketplace. And so I'm excited to be here. I am the co-lead for this mission trip to Kenya this time around, and I am excited and I am anticipating a move of God when we get there.
Absolutely. So for those of you who have been following along, this is probably our fourth, but third consecutive in this series. In our first broadcast, we interviewed our leaders from Kenya. So that was an awesome time. And so over the last couple of weeks, this now makes the third week, we've been interviewing our missionaries so you all can hear from them and get their perspective on this whole journey that we've been on and the actual journey of coming, right? So today we're going to be talking with Tamara Rollins, Donna Thompson, and Dr. Laxley Stephenson. So we're going to bring them up one by one so they can introduce themselves to you all. And then we're going to get into our conversation for today. So first, we're going to bring up Tamara.
Hello.
Hey, Tamara.
Hi, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. All right, you want to tell the people who you are?
Absolutely. I am Tamara Rollins. In my day-to-day, I am a regional manager for one of Indiana's largest social service organizations, where I do executive leadership training, coaching, and developing. Also, that is what I do on the side as well. And then I think in this capacity, I am a missionary. So I'm excited about taking this trip.
Awesome. We are so happy to have you here. So good afternoon to all of you who are joining us. If you're watching live, let us know who you are. Even if you're watching the replay, let us know you're here, okay? Put a hello or something in the comments so that we can acknowledge you. Some of you, we may not be able to see who you are with StreamYard. There's this thing, you got to give them permission to let us actually see who you are. So if we don't call you by name, please do not be offended. It's just that we can't see you. Okay, but hello, I see a good afternoon, and I see a hello, and the way it's written, I know it's someone from Kenya, okay, or Africa somewhere. All right. Okay, we want to bring up now Dr. Laxley Stephenson.
Good afternoon.
Hey, Doc.
Hey, Elder Randall, Pastor Lexi, Tamara. It's such a pleasure to be on today, and I really appreciate that. Say that with all of my heart. I am Dr. Laxley Stephenson. In my day business, I am a real estate broker. I manage a general contractor firm. What else do I do? I'm the president and CEO of Global Humanity Network, a nonprofit organization where we promote humanity in underserved communities globally. I'm also the founder of A Collision with Purpose. It's an organization that is committed to help individuals discover and live in their purpose. And I'm also an author, writing books about purpose and how to live in your purpose. So I'm excited to be going to Kenya as a missionary. I've not done it before, but I'm fired up. I'm excited. I'm ready to go.
Love it. He says, I'm fired up and ready to go.
Sounds like he's running for office.
I was like, I need to say some more. Wait a minute.
Right? All of us. Wait a minute. We all need to say some more. But he reminded me that all of us on this platform today are authors. Isn't that something? So let's bring up Donna. Hey, Angela. We see you, girl. Thanks for tuning in. Let's bring up Donna Thompson.
Happy birthday to Angela. Today's her birthday.
Happy birthday, Angela. Hi, everyone. My name is Donna Thompson. My day-to-day is a clinical informatics specialist, which basically that covers, I just really train doctors, radiologists specifically. It's one of the largest healthcare system here in Atlanta, Georgia. I'm the vice president of a general construction company here in Atlanta, Georgia as well, and a vice president of Global Humanity Network, where I serve with Dr. Laxley Stephenson in servicing individuals in underserved communities. I am absolutely excited to be a part of the Kenya missionary trip. I have not done missionary in this capacity before, but I love to serve. It's a part of my innate being in serving. So I feel I'm in the right place and just happy to be a part of the team.
We are happy that you are part of the team, and we're happy to have you on today. And so let's just get into our conversation. So the first question that we have for you all is, why did you say yes? Now, it's a two-part, right? Because there was an initial yes, I'm going to go. And then as you got into the training or so, there may have been an additional yes, if that was you. Okay. So I want to hear both if that applies to you. So let's start with Tamara.
So the why, I think for me, this is my second trip. I really didn't anticipate going back to back, but hey, it's how it happened. And so I believe for me, my second yes was came out. It was hard because I really kind of had a discussion with God. Okay, actually, I really argued with God about, is this really what I need to be doing? And I know that He's told me even recently that I'm commissioned to do this work. And so that is, why I did my second yes. But initially I was like, oh yeah, this will be great. I'll go ahead and do it. And then I kind of, as we got through the trainings and everything, because it was different, right? It wasn't like the first time. And so I was like, I don't know. This is a lot. And so I began to pray about it, and God, let me know this is what I'm commissioned to do. So I said yes.
Oh, awesome. Thank you. So a little later in the conversation, we're going to get to, I want to know, okay, what was different, right? What made this second yes different? Joan says she want to know too, right? All right. Donna.
Oh, I guess my initial yes is because my wonderful elder Randall here is on this trip, and I was just like, hey, my cousin is going, so I want to go. I want to serve with her. Um, so that's my initial yes. I don't really know if I have like a second part to that, because like I said before, whenever it has to do with serving, that's just, it really doesn't matter in what capacity for me, as long as I'm serving the people and I'm doing God's work. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna do it. So I'm okay with that.
Awesome. 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 All
That's
right.
my nephew that was saying hello. Hey, nephew. Hey, Jason.
Shout out to the nephew.
I know.
All right, Dr. Laxley.
Yes. So my initial yes came through Donna. Donna invited me and said, my cousin is going to Africa. And I said, I can't say no to Donna. So I said yes, because we're good friends, right? And we support each other. So I said yes to Donna. But I think what happened for me, the yes to Donna was firm, solid. I was going. But as we started to interact in these classes, and I've experienced conversation with you, Pastor Lexi, and Elder Joan, my commitment started to get bigger and bigger, because what I recognized was the commitment on your part and the type of leadership that you were displaying. And that got me to started to just become more committed and wanting to be a part of something that's bigger than me. And of course, there's alignment with this type of work. Just going into a place where there are needs, we do that with our nonprofit. So there's alignment there. So it was in the end, it turned out to be a good fit. It really was. So very excited, but leadership played an important role in me taking a more serious, deeper look at this missionary trip to Kenya.
Oh, awesome. Thank you for sharing.
Wow, that was amazing.
Thank you so much for sharing. All right, Elder Joan, you got a question for the people?
Well, my question is, we did this series of trainings, right? That I think all three of you mentioned. And I know I'm excited to hear what Tamara has to say, because she said it was a little different this year versus last year, right? What are your thoughts about the training, and did this help you in understanding the role that you will play as a missionary even better than just going? Maybe Tamara can answer first.
Okay. Well, I think the trainings, they were, the length of the trainings were longer. So it was I think from the beginning of when you said yes to pretty much our last training next week. So we're still in training. And before, it was not that many. So that, that's a commitment there. But also how deep into, kind of knowing about why we're going, right? And being prepared mentally, physically, spiritually. And then we also learned about warfare, and so spiritual warfare. And so for me, I was like, okay, this is not just your ordinary missionary trip. And not that the last one, was, but for me, I was really kind of toiling with going, just because of some of the things I had saw also spiritually, and then also that we knew from the news that had been going on in Kenya. And so again, for me, during my conversations with God, I know He has purposed me to specifically go into government systems and root out. And so I was like, oh my God, like just United States, right? You just said just United States, not any other. So it's like, girl, what did I say? And so for my conversations, I'm like, okay, this is, yes, I understand whatever you ask me to do, God, wherever you tell me to go, my yes, is still yes. And so those trainings really prepared us for all aspects of. For me, it was just very really good to deal with that spiritual warfare, and to know that it's wherever you go, right? And you got to be prepared wherever you go. So
Wow, that's awesome. Dr. Laxley?
And training, of course, was very important for me. Much of what I learned was new. Lots of it was new information, of course. But I'll just touch on the last session that we had, the last training session. We talk about servant leadership. I think that was a big thing. It's a big thing. That's all about living in service, and that you drove it home with that. You drove it home, and just from that training alone, it brought me back to my life as to the importance of living in service and just doing things not just for you, but for the greater good of all. So that much of the training, connected us to, this is not about us. It's a call. It's something you're called to do, and just to go out there and just give it your best shot, and do the best you can at it. And much of the training had to prepare us for that.
That's awesome. Thank you so much, Donna.
Oh, I think one thing, the training was actually phenomenal. I learned a lot in the training sessions. Thank you to both Pastor Lexi and Elder Randall. I know I had probably not the ordinary questions, but I commend you all for being able to answer those questions and with clarity as well. And I think one thing that really stood out for me in the training was really embracing that the kingdom is within myself, and knowing that when I go there or even here, I always carry the kingdom within myself, and that in me being in the presence of in Kenya, I will be able to impact one's life and bring them closer to the Lord just by, speaking with someone and showing kindness and love, and just like how Creator would want us to be. So that was very powerful for me, is to know that in my daily walk that I carry that kingdom in me, and for me to show others, and just by my actions and the way I live, I can bring people closer to the Lord. So that was very, that was impactful for myself.
Wow, that's great. I love how there are three different perspectives on the training. And I'm really excited. First of all, the whole training piece was Pastor Lexi's vision. And I love the fact that this year it's a certified training. That's like, so once you are done with the training, as long as you've met all the criteria, then you're certified as a missionary. That's a big deal to place that on a wall, right? Knowing that, like Dr. Laxley says, it's about serving and just minimizing the flesh, and minimizing thoughts that are me, and it's about those that we're called to serve, and role modeling the characteristics of Christ. So great job, Pastor Lexi, in making this a certified training, and great answers to you guys as well.
Yeah, thank you all for sharing. It was important to me because the trainings we spend, it's quite a bit of time, as Tamara mentioned. And we're not meeting every week, but we met the first and third Mondays of each month. We started in February, and the time we would be there probably about an hour and a half. Each time we met. And the training itself, the session itself, probably lasted an hour, and then we had a half an hour of updates and other just more logistical preparation, talking about flights or visas or, whatever the case may be. But it was important for me that, we do something to, honor those who committed to attending each and every training. And so, I thought about the certification. And so the certification is through Global Impact University. And I'm excited for that partnership. And it will, continue to be there for as long as God says so. So I am, it's one of the, most thrilling moments for this year and going forward to be able to, award those certificates, and people can say, I am a certified missionary. Yes. All right. So you've talked about, the trainings. What are you looking forward to when you go to Kenya? We're like 13 days out, 12 or 11 for Elder Joan and myself, but we're like 13 days out, and you will be touching foot in the motherland. For some of you, this may be the first time. If it is, make mention of that. But what are you looking forward to? Anyone can start.
Honestly, I'm looking forward to the entire experience. But I think for me, mostly, I'm looking forward to the interactions that I'll have with the and the people, and just learning and embracing others, and just loving others, and learning a new culture, learning new things, just being able to share experiences. So I'm looking forward to that higher interaction.
Awesome.
This is my first trip going to Africa, and of course, to Kenya, and that is exciting, right? Going to Africa, and the work that we're going to be doing there, I'm excited about that. I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to going there and hopefully making a huge difference and touching some lives. That is the thing that stands out most to me, because we're difference makers, right? So I want to go there and do the best I can do and leave our footprints there in a positive way. That's what I'm looking forward to.
Thank you for sharing. Tamara, this is your second time. What are you looking forward to?
It is. I'm hoping. I just recall when we were in Africa and Ghana the last time, like the air, we were in certain areas and the air just seemed so pure. And it was just so different. And it's when you're working day to day in the hustle and bustle. So I'm just looking forward to serving day to day, and just not having any set necessary agenda, having to be at a certain meeting at a certain time, and just being used. That's all I'm looking forward to, and so I'm excited about that. And like I said, just the air quality. I'm hoping I can't explain it, but it was so different. I lived closer to Chicago, so maybe that could be why. It was a clean air, but just to have see a different environment, and hopefully connect with I know we're going to be in Mombasa, so some of the people there, and learning their traditions, or what they have prepared for us, and what they want to share, because I know they're excited to see us as well. So
yeah, absolutely. And you mentioned something about like this hustle and bustle that we have here in the United States. And Dr. Laxley and I were having this conversation, or at least I was expressing to him the very same thing, that I'm just excited about going and being there and being fully present there, right? And not having to worry about this hustle and bustle that we do on a daily basis here in the United States. Elder Joan, what do you want to say on that?
Yeah. That is true. There's in the city like Nairobi where we're going to fly, and we'll see a little of that because it's a city, right? City life, no matter where you go, wherever part in the world, there's a little bit of bustle. But on the outer banks or the outskirts, it is so laid back, right? Their time is just time for them. It is, they are not breaking their necks to get anywhere at 9 a.m. You'll see them at probably 9:05, 9:10, 9:15, but and I think that helps with anxiety and stress. I have to be honest. I think there is less stress and less anxiety because we're not fighting I don't feel like they're fighting a rat race. Yes, there are areas, there are pockets where there's poverty as anywhere else. Even in the United States, there's a lot of poverty, right? But there is a different mentality there. And that's what I'm looking forward to embracing and diving in again. And this time going on to the more rural areas because Kitale is known as the cultural area of Africa where they supply most of the food for the country, right? So we're going to see a lot of farmland, right? Because that's what they do. So I'm excited about that and looking forward to sharing in this experience with you guys. When I was there in 2021, I fell in love with Kenya. So, but I have another question. Is it okay if I ask, Pastor Lexi?
Oh yeah.
All right. So one of the trainings that we did and one of the things that we had asked all of our missionaries to do was to do a spiritual gifts test. And the spiritual gifts test give you an understanding of where you're strongest spiritually. Based on that, Pastor Lexi and I was able to look at it and assign the missionaries certain things that they will be responsible for or will be doing when we get to Kenya. And I know for probably all of you on this live today have already gotten your assignment. What do you think about the assignment? And were you happy, not so happy, overwhelmed? Like, oh my God, what are they asking me to do? I want to hear your thoughts about your assignments when you got those.
I'll go first. And I'm very familiar with Lexi Lover. So when I got mine, I kind of knew what it was going to be. And I was like, oh my God. Like, so mine is working with the prophetic team and then also I think speaking at the youth event. And so I was like, well, why do I have two? I don't want like I'm like, she didn't understand. Like, well, maybe she's just thinking that she has to assign this to me. So I'm talking to myself. I'm like, well, I don't need to do this. Like, I just want to go and be used this time. And so, of course I couldn't tell her that because I already know her, Lexi's going to be like, yeah, okay. So, and next, do you need help with something? What do you need me to do to get you to move to the next? Because this is what you're doing. So, once I got over myself and, came to the end of myself and I understand what the purpose of it is, I was not surprised because God has been really moving in the areas that I've been assigned to for this mission trip. And so I understand that it's that you all did assign it based off of, your discernment and also off of, the feedback that you got from our assessment. So, I'm still kind of like, because I am very detail oriented. And so even when I do presentations, I have to have everything out. And so I've been trying to like email Lexi on the side, like, so can you just give me a little more? And she keeps saying, well, remember to be flexible. And so I'm like, okay, but how flexible do you want me to be? Oh my God. So, okay, so what do I do? So just for me, and a part of that also too is, and I'll stop talking, stop rambling, is that I always want to make sure that when I am presenting, especially for this, that I take it very seriously, right? I don't take it lightly. And I want to make sure that I am delivering what God has and what He wants. And so, learning to get out of my way and trust, God in that moment. This is also help for my assignments as well that I'm excited to do.
You sure about that? And listen, Tamara is very modest. She's not just working with the prophetic team; she is leading
it.
the prophetic.
Leading.
Uh-huh.
Leading. Yep.
All right. Who's next?
I'll go, Donna, because I see you jumping to go. So if you had assigned me Tamara's assignment, I would have been worried. So I thought that your assessment and the assessment I did and however you arrive at it, your assignment was dead on point, was so accurate. One of my major assignment is having a conversation about managing passions, and it and it really, I think there's so much alignment there. In my earlier life, I had built a company just based on passion. So when I sort of think about it, and said, this is the perfect assignment for me. And so I think that it was so accurate, and excited about, the conversation I'm going to be having. It's 1 hour. It's an hour's conversation, right? So it's going to be quite a conversation for an hour, but very, very, very on point. So, the selection process from my perspective was accurate. My perspective.
Awesome.
All right. Good to hear.
Oh, I guess it's my turn. Yeah.
I guess so.
Alrighty. I am not certain how you guys came up with my assignment. Because I'm not necessarily like, oh, it's going to stretch me, of course, because I'm not a very big speaker with certain things, especially in the part of leading the prayer team. But I accept my assignment openly and willingly, because I know that it's not about me, and it's going to be about the message that will be presented during those morning worships. And I don't know what to expect. I don't know what will come out of it and what will be said, but I have gotten to a point of learning that I listen to what I'm told when I'm told, and then I follow through and walk through, and I know that it's going to work out well. And I am a part of the prophetic team as well with Tamara. So, but the prayer team part, that's stretching me.
The prayer team or devotional team?
Devotional team, I believe. Yes.
Yeah.
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 That's just leading devotion. That's not bad.
Yes.
Yeah.
She'll see. You know what I'm saying? So Donna, let me tell you guys from my perspective, because Donna, I haven't known you for years and years, like your cousin, and so she can, speak and correct me if need be. But from what I have observed of you over the last, few months, and then getting to watch you in a couple other settings, I'm like, yeah, Donna likes to be behind the scenes and do things behind the scenes, but Donna has wisdom that people need to hear. And so I figured, after praying about it, I was like, okay, well, how can I stretch her but not scare her, right? Because I didn't want to take her from behind the scenes to on stage with 500 people. So, when I prayed about it, the devotional team and leading that came, came to me. And so the devotional team, really, that is just amongst, we're going to have devotion every morning, our team, before we go out and do what we have to do. And so I figured, okay, it's just amongst the team. It shouldn't like scare her, crazy. We'll stretch her. And that's what I want for each and every missionary that's participating. I don't want people to come and just do normally what they're always used to doing, because part of walking with God is being stretched from time to time. So, Donna, that's where that came from. Elder Joan.
Yeah, and it's about being uncommon, right? It's about doing uncommon stuff. It's about coming out of a comfort zone, right? You can't grow in comfort. There's no way. And to Pastor Lexi's point, if it was easy, like maybe we need to rethink what we gave Dr. Laxley. Pastor
Laxley's getting some more stuff. He don't know it yet. He's getting a couple more
he says, "Oh, that's right, my alley." He was so happy.
I have a couple other things as well.
Yeah, but so yeah, it's just about stretching into, like, I already I'm gonna say this to you offline about Tamara, because I got something for Tamara too, but it's about just coming out of where you're comfortable, and it's gonna scare you, but it's gonna surprise you. It's going to scare you because you're like, maybe I've never led a worship team, or not a worship team. Maybe I've never led devotion, or maybe I've never led a prophetic team, but then you get to do it and you find yourself, probably the first day you'll be a little, but then you get into a rhythm, and the next thing you know, you come back feeling fulfilled that you did something that you have never done before, and now you can do it again, right? So it reminds me of the first time Apostle asked me to preach, and I'm like, me, preach? Whoa, right? And how scary it was. Like, I'm mumbling my words, my accent came out, I'm pronouncing things the wrong way, and all of this, and then after a while you get used to it, and then it's still a little kind of scary for me, but I feel better doing it because I've been doing it for a while. So, and it just stretches you, right? And just adds another level of wisdom. I like that word that Pastor Lexi used. Another level of wisdom, another level of knowledge, and another level of understanding. That's all it does when it stretches you, right? So.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. So it's always interesting to hear how people, how they feel once they get their assignments. And then, and we're aware too of, how you all might react to these things. Mm-hmm. And believe me, and Elder Joan could probably say the same thing. And I know when I first went to do international mission work and, going over to speak, it's like, oh my gosh, you know what I'm saying? And here I was, I speak all the time. But it was here in the US. And for some reason, I'm like, oh gosh, I just got so nervous because it's not here in the US, but it's, it's somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? What are people going to think about you? Your accent and all these kinds of things. Because we will have the accents, right?
We are coming with an accent. We don't sound different. And you know what's so funny? When I went in 2021, I was presenting, this whole Power of the Pen thing, right? That was the only time I never felt weird, because I'm like, none of them know me. They don't know me from Adam. So I don't care what they think.
They don't know me and they may never see me again.
They may never see me again. So even if I mess up, it don't matter. I'll live 30,000 miles away, right? But but it was so amazing, and they were so engaging, and that's what I love about their culture there too. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So speaking of, so what are some of the things, maybe, because we want to be real with the people, who are listening, right? We're talking about, we're excited to go and all of this kind of stuff. We got some great assignments, but what are some of the things that might make you nervous? if any?
I think for me, just again, the flight, just, last time it was just the flight, the long flight going to and there. Those are the only things that because I think I've come to the realization once you sign off on all the paperwork and once you read and you're like, oh, something could happen. So I've already committed, and I know why I'm going. And so, God be before us. So, but I think that mine is just the plane ride there, and that I get like a comfortable area to sit. That's it for me.
I can understand that because it is definitely it's this one is a long ride, and it's a longer even than Ghana when we went last year. So yeah, I can certainly understand that. And with the plane, you're like you're not in any control, right? Somebody else is flying the thing, you just there. So I get it.
I have something for that, Tamara. When I was going in 2021, my daughter gave me the wisest words. I was like, oh my God, it's a 24-hour flight. I'm leaving here at 12 noon and I'm getting there at 9:55 p.m. at night. That's a whole day and a half, right? And my daughter said to me, Mom, just be. That's what she said, just be. She said, don't think about 24 hours from now. She said, think about the moment you are in and experience that. Own it and just be in it. Don't think about what seat you have on the plane. Don't think about what they're going to give you to eat. Don't think about the next stop and the next stop. Just when you get on the plane, enjoy it, experience it, take a picture of the plane, take a picture of the outside, write in your journal, play songs, listen to music, and enjoy every moment as it comes. Don't think ahead because you have no control over what's ahead. That was what my daughter told me. That was how I was able to have the most incredible experience for that 24 hours of flying time, or however many stops I had, because I took that into consideration.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. I'll take that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna ditto that. Everywhere I go or any bag that I have, even if I switch bags or something, there's a journal in there.
Mm-hmm.
And it helps me, like you said, just to be,
Yeah.
and write out what I'm thinking, what I'm feeling, or having conversations with God, and He's talking to me. Like
Yeah.
I find those rides on the plane
Yeah.
for these trips, man, I just come back I get there with so much stuff. I come back with so much stuff where I just, saying, okay, I'm on this plane. You know what I'm saying? For however many hours, can't control that, but I can use this time,
Yeah.
to talk to God, to hear from God, to think about, different things, to journal and all that. So I'm a ditto.
I wrote a whole book on a flight.
Yep.
I just started writing and it just started pouring down. So I wrote a whole book on a flight. So it's, if you want to write or you're thinking about writing another book, it's the perfect time to start jotting down your main ideas and start putting stuff to your next book.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Who's next? What do you makes you nervous or a little anxious?
I can't say there's anything that's making me nervous, but I like what Elder Joan said, and that's exactly what I was thinking of doing with that long ride. It's so much work we need to catch up on, and I'm going to have the pleasure of sitting beside Donna, and we have a lot of work we're doing together. So we're going to use the time to really tie in on the things that we're doing. So I think it's a great opportunity. Mm-hmm. If we were here in Atlanta, we probably wouldn't have that time available to us. So I'm just going to work with the ecosystem I'm living in on the airplane and make it work for us. That's exactly what we plan to do.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm with Dr. Stephenson there. We have so much stuff to do that I think it's almost like great time for us. to where we don't have like all the other. This is probably the one time that we will not be doing 500 different things at the same time.
Wow.
Being in that moment to where we can hone in on some stuff that we really have to catch up on, and yeah, just really enjoying the flight. I think for us what's really great is that we have several of our other missionaries that will be on the flight with us as well.
That's awesome.
So I know it's just gonna be it's gonna be a long flight, but I think it's gonna be a great time. I can see that.
Yeah.
So I'm not really nervous or anxious about anything that I can really think of. I think the only one thing that kind of had concerned me, or I shouldn't say concerned me, but kind of, like made me think was when I went to get my yellow fever vaccine. And then because I got mine at the health center, and then they were just going over all these
Oh
different
yeah.
things. And like if you weren't nervous before, like they would have you
Mm-mm.
and all, yeah, and then all the different vaccines that you probably should take, and to do this and do that, so I think that was probably like, oh wow. But then it's kind of like after I thought about it and everything, I'm like, well, I mean, like a lot of that stuff is like it can happen to you here, like you can get bit by a mosquito and who knows what you'll end up with.
Mhm.
So that was the only thing that I think was kind of like, oh wow, it just, they made it seem like it was just a really, 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 really big thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but other than that, no, I'm good.
Yeah, the vaccine clinics, things like that, they do that. They have a tendency to do that. And at the end of the day, I have to remember, and I tell people all this all the time, like, they're a business too, right? So what do they want to do? They want to upsell. And so, they're going to talk to you about, oh, you can get this disease over there and get that disease and this disease and that disease over there. And, so therefore you need 20 of these things. Now, instead of paying a couple $100, you might be walking out of there paying $3,000 because they done scared you into taking all these different shots that you do not need.
Girl, I bought a whole kit. I never used it. They gave me something to spray at every corner of the room and say, spray this in the showers. Don't put your bag down until you spray this on the floor. And I'm like, what?
And I'm like,
And I bought the whole thing.
Right. And I'm the person that questions everything. So that spray, Joan, I'd have been like, well, what's in that? And why is it effective? Like, what? I'm just not buying it. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, the Kenyans told me all I needed was my yellow fever vaccine.
That's
so they should know, right? If there's some other things that I need to be leery of. But yeah, they'll do that because, it's a business. So they're going to upsell. And I remember last year, there were a couple of our missionaries that went on and got all these other shots. Now, people are going to do whatever, you can do whatever makes you feel comfortable and, and all of those things. But yeah. Yes. So as we're wrapping up this conversation, I want to hear from you all. If someone is, people can be watching and they might be, maybe they've never considered missionary work before. Maybe they have and just haven't pulled the trigger on it. What would you share with them to encourage them to explore it or to do it at least once?
So one thing I want to say, and that we should all consider, is that one small act of kindness, and that's what this missionary thing is all about, right? Can go a long, long way in making a difference in the life of others. And I think that's a consideration. It's something we should all focus on more. And if it's through a missionary trip, then it's something that should be done. You may just touch one life, you may just change one, but you don't know how many that person will impact. So I think this is, for me, I feel so honored to be invited. Thanks, Donna, that you invited me. And now that I ended up here, I'm seeing the importance and the significance of me being here and being a part of this missionary trip to Kenya. So my suggestion to anyone who's listening, at least do it one time.
Yeah.
At least once. So it's my suggestion. Get on board. Be a part of something that's bigger than you.
Yeah.
And that's what this is all about.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Ladies?
I definitely echo what Dr. Stephenson said. I could not have definitely said it any better. But one thing I would definitely say is to anyone who's listening, along with what Dr. Stephenson just said, but if you're in a place where the thought has already entered your mind and you're on the fence and you're considering and you're weighing, you're already supposed to be there. There is a life waiting for you to change, to impact. And that alone should encourage you to go ahead and move forward and take that step, because that is your maker pushing you and showing you that you are called to do this and someone is waiting on you on the other side.
Thank you. Thank you. That was nice. Yeah.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah, that was good, Donna. I think for me, just knowing the purpose of the mission, so if you have come across this, this platform, and you with Money Mastering Her, and understanding that I believe this is in alignment with God's will, and the purpose is, the kingdom of God is at hand. And so if you believe that and you know that, I think through prayer and stepping out on faith, that's what I think needs to happen in order to, because it is it's a huge commitment, so I don't want to say that it's not. It's a huge commitment. You have to be ready on spiritually, physically, and mentally. And with that, aligning with God's word and will for your life. And, if you are on the fence, like Donna said, I think if you get into alignment, God will provide, the clear guidance and steps to find the right missionary group to go with, because it's important that you go with the right group and that you feel safe and that God is sending you. And so I think all of that will come if you're in alignment with what He has for you.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Elder Joan?
So I would just say that we all came here with something inside of us to give to the world, right? We all came as seeds, and our seed should be planted. And sometimes we feel as if our seed should only be planted among us and our family, but that's not how it should be, right? We have an opportunity to go. The Bible says, go and make disciples, go. So the command is to go, right? And so it's very, very important. And I would not want anybody to get caught into the sin of do nothing, because that is a sin, right? Get caught in the sin of do nothing, because it means that everything that God has given to you, you sit with it. You don't give it to anyone. You don't multiply. You don't replenish. So it's stuck with you. It dies with you. That's a dead seed, right? And that's for rebuke. So I'm not saying that you can't serve among your neighborhood and within your community, but if God lays a missionary trip on your heart, right? And there is this prompting, there is this little nudge, there's this download, then I would say connect with a reputable team that is going to really give you the training and all the tools that is necessary for you to go and do it right. And Money Mastery for her has been doing it for years. It's tried and true and proven. Pastor Lexi is now anointed someone to spread this, another arm. There are going to be several other arms that will come out of Money Mastery for her as well, that will be leading trips. Maybe next year it's 3 trips, right? Different arms leading different trips to different parts of the world. So if you're listening to us today, and you want to do this, it's an act of service that is going to reap abundance and benefits way beyond you. And trust me, kindness and service also replenishes and is abundant to, and gives abundance to your generation to come. So you are doing this now to serve your daughters, your sons, your granddaughters, your grandsons, your great granddaughters, your grandsons will reap the abundance from your service. So that's what I want to share.
Thank you so much. That was so good. Last week we had the opportunity to interview a few of the missionaries, and as a result, someone joined the team like right away. So I want to speak to those of you out there who are listening, and you're in a position to do this right away, right? Like you have funds, you have your passport. To get the Kenya visa is 24 hours, 48 hours. You have you're flexible with your time. You can do that. It's not too late. I'll probably say maybe a few days from now, it may be too late. But today, as we are, speaking, and if you have everything aligned and you feel God saying you're supposed to be on that team, we'll have you, right? We'll have a conversation. We'll tell you what all needs to be done. And if we can align, we'll have you, right? And then there are those, we know that everybody is not called to go and serve abroad, right? But that does not mean that you can't be part of this mission. You can still be part of this mission, because it takes many of us to make sure that this goes over successfully, right? So not those of us that are just going physically, but those of you who are like, no, God isn't calling me to go physically, but I can support monetarily, right? Because we are doing a few projects, there. We're going to be giving away Crocs and socks. We're trying to give those away to about 500 people. 400 girls are going to get sanitary towels and a couple other things. We've got 600 boys, I believe, that are getting school supplies. We've got 300 homeless people that we're going to be feeding. We've got a mission station in Kanango that we're going to help to provide some iron.
Roofing.
I forget the names of it for now, but for their roofing, and then we've got a water project in Mombasa where they're getting fresh water to the village that we're going to be supporting. And so you can be a part of that just by donating. So I think our goal, we are down to we could use maybe another $1,500, right? And so I was like, that's 30 people if I did my math right, or 50 people giving $30, 50 people giving $30. Okay. So I know if you're watching out there and you have $30, then you can be part of this mission, right? By helping us to do that. So we've posted the link in the comments, and you can donate on behalf of any one of the missionaries that you see here today, either Tamara or Dr. Laxley or Donna. And we will greatly appreciate you for it. And you'll get updates from us. Hopefully while we're there, if the internet cooperates and stuff, we'll send some updates while we're there. But if we cannot, for whatever reason, certainly when we get back, you're going to get updates via email, pictures, video, all of these great things, so that you know that the dollars that you sent went to support these various things that we're doing. All right.
Amen.
Elder Joan, anything else? Anybody else? Anything else before we get out of here?
No. Go ahead.
One quick thing I'd like to say, and one thing I noticed, this one there, I'm the only male going. Right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So I want to appeal
Please do.
More of us males.
Yeah.
Step up, and just act for better. Just get involved, because you're needed. Your male leadership is needed in these type of missions.
Amen.
So that's my last word: is males, get involved, step up, do your part.
Thank you so much for sharing that.
Love that.
Dr. Laxley is absolutely right, because the males are needed. And because he's the only one and no other male out there stepped up to be part of it, now he's got to do everything that requires a male to be done. But we know the Lord is going to give him strength and give him everything he needs to get it done. And so, yes, but we definitely encourage males to join us. I think last year we had one male, and we had our team that went to Ghana a couple of weeks ago. I think they had two males, two or three.
Mm-hmm.
So we need you guys. We need you guys. I know it says Money Mastery for her, but we need y'all. Okay. All right. So we want to thank you all for joining us, for tuning in today. We hope you enjoyed the conversation with our missionaries today. I want to thank Tamara. I want to thank Dr. Laxley. I want to thank Donna. Thank you for your time today, because I know, everybody's busy. They got their stuff going on. It's coming down to crunch time, so things are really getting hectic. But I thank you for taking time out to be with us today and to share with everyone what you have experienced so far and what you're looking forward to, and your words of encouragement for others to, to step up and to do this work. All right. So that's it for, the series of interviewing missionaries. But next week, I will be just talking in general, like, how do we even come up with this? How do we come up with the projects? How does one even, put all this together? What does it take? Hoping my co-lead Joan can join me next Friday if she's not doing anything, because I just thought about it, right? Because people, kind of ask these things, and as she mentioned, there are others who, are thinking about leading these trips. So we want to talk about that on next Friday, same time. And other than that, thank you for joining us. Y'all go have a blessed Friday.
Thank you.
Amen. Bye. Happy Saturday, everybody.
Hey, everyone.